We head out to Boulder, Colorado here in about 15 minutes for Countdown to Kickoff. Our series continues as we go through each and every Big 12 team, inching closer to that first regular season contest. What do we know? What we don't know? Some position battles to watch at camp, injury news, depth chart locks, and much more for Colorado. But first, we're talking Big 12 soccer. Co-host of Across the Conference with Sydney Staples. She joins us now here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. Sydney, what's up? How's your summer been? And what can you tell us about the teams at the top of the preseason Big 12 soccer poll?
Ooh, guys, man, have I missed you all? Have I missed the studio, even though I'm from afar? My summer's been great. The only thing I've watched for 5 weeks straight was the World Cup. So to say that I'm ready for some more soccer to get back into the mix, I've been ready, guys. I've been going through withdrawals in the past few weeks.
Well, and Sydney is a former college soccer player, played soccer at Lehigh, so she's definitely not just an expert on Big 12 sports, but certainly on Big 12 soccer in particular. Soccer season starts this week.
Yep.
Today?
Today.
Yes, today. Thank you. That's why we're having you on today, because like the official fall sports calendar starts today with soccer. TCU was the heavy hitter from last year, made it to the College Cup for the first time ever, Final Four. What do you like about TCU? Can they get back to the Final Four?
Of course they can. When you are picked atop of the Big 12 preseason poll, when you are number 3, or excuse me, it might be even number 6 in the national poll, when you look at the entirety of collegiate women's soccer, you absolutely have a chance. When you're returning players like a Cam Patton, and by the way, I know it's really exciting to talk about players on the offense, but when you are returning a stout defense, this is where you take it from, yeah, this team is pretty good this year, but then you're looking at, no, you really can return to the national championship stage and looking at things like that, because the back line is arguably the most important. They open up their season with Wisconsin tomorrow, which is already a matchup I'm really looking forward to watching. But listen, when you're voted atop the preseason poll, the coaches poll, I mean, the amount of honors that TCU has been given in the past really 2 years in building onto a third season, all eyes, fingers, ears are pointed in the direction to see the Horned Frogs succeed again for a third season in a row.
Sydney, you said the back line is most important. So the league has 7 of its top goal scorers and assist leaders and point leaders from a season ago, but then it also returns 7 starting goalkeepers who all played over 1,000 minutes last year. So which one of those two do you see as most important in terms of returning production, and why?
Oh my, I think that's a great question. Here's the thing, again, everyone's excited to talk about an offense, but what is most important is when you look at, when you're watching a typical soccer game, and I think anybody can understand this just from watching the World Cup, you're seeing a lot of substitutions made in a midfield, in a forward line. You're not seeing that on the defensive side of the ball, let alone if you're the goalkeeper. So no matter how many returning attacking players come back into the mix, goals, sure, they can happen. It's the back lines, those back 3 players plus the goalkeeper. That to me is what I'm looking for in terms of like a long-term sustainability over a season. When you compound 90 minutes over 90 minutes over 90 minutes in a back line, and by the way, times that by as many games in a regular season, versus, yeah, well, this forward gets 60 minutes this game, they might get 70 this game, they might even get 40. You see where you look more at, wow, the stoutness and the minutes compiled over time for a defense over an offense, and that's really what you're going to be looking for.
What do you think is most important for success in college soccer?
Oh my, a culture. And I think that can be overplayed. I think that can be coach speak, player speak, but as somebody that played the game, there's a difference in your bench wanting you, a player who is playing on the field, to succeed, that can take you over the edge. And I think in a new era of NIL, where maybe some individuals could be chasing money and opportunities a little bit more than wanting to go to a school because they have heart for the school, they believe in the program, the coaching staff, let alone the players that they play with. is the big difference. It's the culture aspect of it. And I'm not just saying this because you're a Dallas native, but I've seen it with my very own eyes with TCU women's soccer. And again, that's another reason. Defense, but also the culture that can get them there.
Sydney Staples from across the conference joining us here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. We are powered by Modelo. So 8 women's soccer teams were in the NCAA tournament last year. That tied a Big 12 conference record. Can the Big 12 do that again? And just how high was that bar that was set last season?
The Big 12 is not the ACC, and that's important to have that distinction. When you're thinking about the blue bloods in collegiate women's soccer, you're looking at Duke, North Carolina, and those schools. I mean, shoot, I'm even looking at UCLA, now Big Ten, that, BYU is going to be opening up their season with here today. So important to have that distinction. But can the Big 12 produce 8 different teams getting to it again? Abso-freaking-lutely. Colorado picked number 13 in the poll. Kansas, 15. West Virginia, 20. Texas Tech. A squad I think has rather underperformed in the last few seasons. But considering you've underperformed and have still made the postseason, let's talk about the power and things that come into that, let alone BYU, Baylor. I mean, I could just keep going, guys. It is a stat conference, not the ACC, but one that is absolutely relevant.
What about Colorado? They have a chance to pull through here. Hope Leba is one of the athletes we identified in our top 5 fall athletes. What's Colorado's chances here?
Considering that, she was the Big 12 forward of the year last year, and what all is going on over in Boulder. I really like what we're seeing out of there. I like what we're seeing out of the Buffaloes. Consider this, guys, when you're returning 2 of the Big 12's top 8 scorers from a season ago, not just Hope Leba, but a second, that causes problems for a defense. When you are garnering 5 selections for the preseason team, and can we also remember, Hope Leba was the nation's leading goal scorer. A lot of positive things going on.
When you look at the Big 12's preseason poll, does it check out, or who could potentially surprise people this year?
West Virginia. When I'm looking at where everybody falls in line, I think it's pretty spot on. In fact, I could have maybe seen TCU going even higher, maybe 4-3. But West Virginia is a team, both in the Big 12 and looking at the country as a whole, that causes problems. This squad, they're looking 5th unbeaten season in a row that they played last year. You don't have those kind of stats typically in the Big 12. You're looking more at the ACCs in North Carolina, Duke, etc. So when you have stats like that hang with the big dogs, and the fact that you're picked 20th overall, listen, still in the top 25. I'm not taking anything away from that. But it's a team that I think we can easily see climb to well within the top 10 this season.
Love it. West Virginia, the sleeper pick. Sydney Staples, co-host of Across the Conference, former soccer player herself, joining us to preview the Big 12 women's soccer season, which starts today. Sydney, thank you for your time. We'll talk soon.
Guys, thank you. Miss you all.
Sydney Staples, co-host of Across the Conference, where they break down all the fall sports, soccer, volleyball, and many, many more here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. He's Ari. I'm James. We are powered by Modelo. Coming up next, countdown to kickoff. We are just a couple of weeks out from the start of the college football season. Today we highlight the Colorado Buffaloes, position battles, injury news, depth chart locks. A lot on the line for the Buffs after a 3-win campaign last year. And then Brian Howell, the Colorado beat writer for Buff Zone, will join us in the next hour. This is Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio, exclusively on TuneIn.